In the wild, big cats are often seen as the ultimate predators, where strength, speed, and instinct come together with precision. Yet hunting does not always follow a predictable script. There are moments when timing falters, conditions shift, and the prey finds a way to break free. In those rare encounters, nature reveals that even the most efficient hunters are never guaranteed success. Antelopes look slender on the savanna, but they always maintain a high level of vigilance and reflexes. Even when standing still, their bodies are in a state of readiness for danger. Nearby, 2 male antelopes were engaged in a prolonged battle, their stamina noticeably depleted. A leopard patiently waited, believing that fatigue would create an opportunity. The ambush was perfectly timed, but the prey managed to escape. The leopard charged again, but a safe distance had been established, and that attempt also failed. The hunt ended quickly. Even a perfect ambush cannot guarantee absolute success.
Oh my God. My goodness, look at that.
Wildebeests are familiar with long migrations and treacherous river crossings. Their bodies aren't massive, but they're built for endurance, balance, and quick reflexes. When crossing a river, each step is taken with heightened vigilance. At that moment, a young lion silently ambushed them at the water's edge. It chose a time when the herd of wildebeest was dispersing, the current slowing their pace. For a young predator, this was an opportunity to test its strength and assert its instincts. The approach was cautious, but what happened next didn't follow the usual script. Instead of panicking and fleeing, one wildebeest suddenly charged straight ahead, directly confronting the threat. This reflex completely disrupted the attack. The young lion hesitated. Its inexperience prevented it from adjusting to the unexpected action. Instead of closing in, it retreated, giving its prey space to escape the dangerous situation. The hunt ended quickly. The antelope returned to the river and rejoined the herd, while the young lion fled, carrying with it an early lesson in harsh reality. In nature, predators don't always have the upper hand. Sometimes it is the counterattack reflex that disrupts the inexperienced. Impalas are slender antelopes, accustomed to light strides and agile changes of direction. They move in herds, always maintaining a sufficient distance to observe each other. On the savanna, the impala's vigilance often begins very early. Two lionesses silently approached, patiently waiting for the impala herd to move into a favorable position. The tension stretched for a few brief seconds. But that wait didn't last long enough. One lioness attacked too early. The sudden movement shook the ground and shattered the element of surprise. Almost immediately, the impala herd realized the danger and scattered in many directions, tearing apart all initial calculations. In an attempt to adjust, the lioness lunged but lost her balance and slipped into the nearby water channel. That moment was enough to end the hunt. By the time the lions returned to shore, the impalas had vanished from sight. There was no prolonged chase, no second chance. The hunt ended in silence. On the savannah, sometimes failure doesn't come from weakness, but from acting just one beat too early. Hedgehogs are slow-moving animals, but they are protected by thousands of stiff, sharp quills that spring out when attacked. These quills aren't meant to intimidate, but rather a specialized defense mechanism capable of inflicting lasting damage. On the savannah, hedgehogs don't need to run fast to survive. A young leopard lunged forward, underestimating its opponent. The approach was quick, but as soon as it got close, the hedgehog's quills sprang up and pierced the predator's face. The pain forced the leopard to retreat immediately. There was no further attack. The hedgehog slowly retreated to safety, while the leopard fled to avoid more serious injury. The hunt ended in clear failure. In nature, specially evolved defensive weapons are sometimes powerful enough to inflict lasting damage on predators. Honey badgers are small animals, but are known for their thick skin, supple bodies, and high pain tolerance. An adult weighs only a few dozen pounds, but possesses ferocity far exceeding its size. On the savannah, honey badgers rely not on speed, but on reflexes and aggression. In a moment of carelessness, a leopard lunged at a young badger. The strike was quick and precise, seemingly enough to end the hunt. But the next reaction came almost immediately. The mother badger emerged from the bushes and charged forward fiercely. She didn't dodge, didn't hesitate, but directly approached, displaying aggressive and threatening behavior. Faced with this fierce and unpredictable resistance, the leopard panicked and was forced to retreat.
Look at that.
The hunt ended in a flash. The leopard failed, and the badger cub was safely protected. In nature, ferocity and maternal instincts are sometimes strong enough to overpower even larger predators. Warthogs are often considered slow, with their low stature and heavy gait. But hidden beneath that exterior are quick reflexes and the ability to accelerate rapidly in a short time. On the savannah, a moment of hesitation can make all the difference. Two lionesses silently ambushed the warthog, waiting for it to enter an open space. The attack was swift, but it didn't achieve the desired overwhelming force. As soon as it sensed danger, the warthog didn't dodge, but instead charged straight ahead with all its might. In a short distance, It could reach speeds of nearly 56 kilometers per hour. This sudden acceleration disrupted the pursuit, leaving the lionesses no time to adjust and forcing them to stop. In just a few seconds, the warthog was out of danger. The hunt ended quickly. The lion failed, and the warthog escaped safely. In nature, acceleration and reflexes are sometimes just as important as agility, because survival is often decided in the first few seconds. African buffaloes can weigh up to 1,500 pounds, with thick hides, strong muscles, and curved horns formed through generations of natural collisions. They are not built to run, but to endure, observe, and hold their ground. On the open savannas, simply standing firm is sometimes a great advantage. This time, a male buffalo stood slightly apart from the herd. It didn't rush away, but stopped, concentrating on the bushes ahead, where there was an unusual sign. The prolonged silence signaled an unfamiliar situation. Hidden in the low foliage was a lioness showing signs of declining health, without the support of the pride. With large prey like buffalo, lions typically need consistent physical strength, the element of surprise, and teamwork. Without these conditions, every decision becomes risky. The situation unfolded quickly, but the balance soon shifted. The buffalo recognized the instability in the predator's movements. Instead of panicking, it proactively advanced, applying pressure with its weight and direction, forcing the lion to retreat to avoid danger. The lion left the area safely, but its long-term survival became precarious. Without a pride and insufficient strength, each subsequent day was a challenge. The hunt ended not because of a lack of intent, but because the natural limitations had become apparent. Baboons are primates that live in tightly knit groups, with a clear social structure and high coordination. Females are responsible for protecting their young, while males act as lookouts and react to threats. On the savanna, a baboon troop is rarely alone. When the leopard suddenly charged into the troop, chaos ensued in an instant. The female quickly shielded her young, retreating to the center of the group. Warning cries rang out, alerting the entire troop to the approaching danger. The male baboons immediately organized a counterattack. They quickly regrouped, maintaining formation and advancing towards the predator. The alpha male charged directly, displaying his strength and determination to defend his territory. Faced with a coordinated response and increasing pressure, the leopard lost its advantage. It was forced to retreat, leaving behind a failed hunt. In nature, collective strength and social organization are sometimes enough to completely reverse the course of a hunt. Such moments do not diminish the big cat's place in the wild. Instead, they underscore a simple reality: no pursuit is ever guaranteed. The space between hunter and prey is narrower than it appears, shaped by chance, timing, and judgment. When the chase ends, It is nature, not strength alone, that delivers the final outcome. On the vast African savanna, every day is a struggle for survival. Lions, symbols of power, not only hunt, but also face a variety of challenges, from prey to competitors. Each attack is a testament to strategy, strength, and sacrifice. The following stories reveal some of the most dramatic moments where instinct dictates everything. Hyenas are highly organized pack hunters. Their success rate reaches 80%, thanks to their impressive coordination, discipline, and endurance. However, despite their hunting prowess, they must always be wary of their greatest rival on the lion savanna. A group of young hyenas were foraging near the edge of a lion pride's territory. The rustling in the bushes didn't alarm them until a mature male lion suddenly appeared. Without roaring, without hesitation, it charged with speed and force, scattering the entire group.
Poor lion.
Should we stop it?
One young individual, unable to escape, was targeted. But before things escalated, two other lions appeared. Instead of attacking the hyenas, they turned their attention to their own kind. The atmosphere was tense. The first lion understood. Internal conflict was more dangerous than any enemy. It retreated, leaving behind its unfinished prey. The battle ended without a clear winner or loser. The lion's behavior clearly reflects this. In nature, even the strongest must abide by order and boundaries. Self-interest can be sacrificed, but stability within the pride is unwavering. Wildebeest are migratory animals, often moving in herds of hundreds to find new pastures. Weighing between 500 and 600 pounds, they are an ideal food source for large predators, especially lions. However, their quick reflexes and high alertness make them difficult to approach. One morning, as the herd rested near shallow water, a young wildebeest lagged behind. A lioness silently approached. Without roaring or unnecessary movement, she closed the distance with light, crawling steps. When the time was right, the lioness accelerated suddenly. The impact was so strong it threw the wildebeest off balance. With familiar movements, the lioness subdued the prey's head, holding it tightly so it couldn't get up. The hunt was over in less than a minute. However, a delay of just a few seconds would mean the opportunity was lost. In some cases, the appearance of a male lion with superior strength and speed can change the outcome in an instant. This story illustrates that, in the wild, decisiveness is key to survival. Kudus are one of the largest antelope species in Africa. With their large size, long, spiral horns, and excellent reflexes, kudus are not easy to subdue. However, when alone or near watering spots during the dry season, the risk of ambush increases significantly. One scorching afternoon, a male kudu approached the water's edge. From a distance, a lioness had already located her target. She silently approached through the low bushes, moving cautiously and without making a sound. As the kudu lowered its head to drink, the lioness suddenly accelerated. A precise lunge to its hind leg caused the kudu to lose its balance. Just seconds later, its neck was subdued, ending its journey in silence. Kudus have a physical advantage, but a moment of carelessness can cost that advantage. In the wild, lions know that timing is everything, and this time, patience paid off. Zebras are one of the lion's most familiar prey. They live in large herds, providing a steady supply of food, enough to sustain the entire group for days. Weighing between 400 and 900 pounds, they are a suitable target, but not easy to approach. A lioness recognizes her opportunity. In the tall, quiet grass, a young zebra is suddenly separated from the herd. The lioness silently approaches, each step carefully controlled. She lowers herself, crouching, preparing for the decisive moment.
Don't. Keep quiet. Cry. Don't move. Don't move.
Just seconds later, the chase begins. No roar, no warning signs, only speed and precision. The lioness lunges forward, using her weight to dislodge the zebra. Its neck quickly subdued, the zebra gradually loses its strength. The hunt ends cleanly. This success was the result of patience, the element of surprise, and the skill of choosing the right timing. A quick approach and a secure food source. African buffalo are among the largest prey animals on the plains. They can weigh up to 2,200 pounds, with thick horns and a sturdy gait. They live in herds, are resilient and united, and are known as formidable opponents. At the end of the dry season, when food and water sources are scarce, the buffalo herd moves more, gradually losing stamina. A young male lion follows behind, patiently observing. It doesn't pounce immediately, but waits for the buffalo to show signs of fatigue. When an older buffalo separates from the herd to rest, 3 lions coordinate their approach. The appearance of the mature male is crucial. With overwhelming strength, it helps subdue the target in a short time. Within minutes, the hunt is complete. The buffalo falls, and the lions get their rare meal. Despite their high resistance, buffalo still have weaknesses, and the lions, through coordination, timing, and collective strength, capitalized on that. This was a battle that demanded endurance, patience, and an understanding of the opponent's limits. Leopards are solitary, fast, and cautious predators. They are good at hiding and climbing, but are often at a disadvantage in confrontations with lions. To avoid risk, leopards often drag their prey up trees where the lions can't catch up. However, this plan doesn't always succeed. One quiet afternoon, a leopard had just brought down a small antelope near the edge of the forest. As it was trying to drag its prey up a tree, a lioness approached from a distance. Without a long chase, the lioness's quick steps and decisive gaze were enough to create pressure. The leopard, sensing danger, didn't try to hold on to its meal and immediately climbed to a higher branch. The lioness approached, inspected the prey, and began to use her newly acquired meal. Everything happened in silence, without conflict or injury, but the outcome was clear. Approximately 10 to 15% of a lion's diet comes from these kinds of quick, decisive, and advantageous competitions. This demonstrates that in the wild, victory doesn't always require absolute strength. Sometimes simply being in the right place at the right time is enough to change the course of events. Rhinos are among the largest and most powerful animals on the savanna. Weighing between 2,000 and 5,500 pounds, with nearly 2 inches of thick skin and horns over 5 feet long, they are formidable opponents. Lions rarely confront them directly, and if they do, their targets are usually calves or trapped individuals. In a rare instance, a young rhino became entangled near a dry mudflat. A pride of lions spotted the opportunity, but didn't rush. They observed, assessed the situation, and only approached when the calf appeared too weak to free itself. However, something unexpected happened.
Yes, go on, boy, yes.
The mother rhino turned around from a distance and advanced towards the lions. Despite their numbers, the predators hesitated. Aware of the danger, they gradually retreated. Ultimately, the young rhino was rescued. The success rate in confrontations with rhinos is very low. The rhino's caution and strong defensive instincts force lions to think carefully. This demonstrates that the predator does not always have the absolute advantage. In nature, many encounters begin in silence, as species approach, observe, and gauge each other's reactions. Just seconds later, tension erupts with short chases, rapid closing maneuvers, and tentative attacks aimed at breaking the balance. The distance narrows step by step, each lunge or change of direction potentially determining who holds the upper hand. Most confrontations end when one side can no longer maintain pressure, forced to retreat to avoid further losses and ensure survival. African wild dogs are the most organized predators on the savanna. They move in tight formations, each individual maintaining their position and reacting almost instantly. The strength of the pack comes from discipline and stable coordination. When hyenas appear to approach the food source, the atmosphere immediately becomes tense. The hyenas move around the perimeter, making loud noises and gradually closing in to exert pressure. The pack of wild dogs remains orderly, turning in unison and maintaining a safe distance. After a few exploratory moves, the wild dogs proactively increase their speed. The entire pack advances simultaneously, cornering the hyenas. Faced with continuous pressure and the risk of isolation, the hyenas are forced to retreat. The wild dogs retain their food source and end the confrontation. In this competition, discipline and organized attacks give wild dogs a clear advantage. On the savanna, precise coordination and composure determine the final outcome. Male moose are the world's largest deer, weighing up to 1,500 pounds and standing over 6 feet tall. During the fall mating season, the males constantly engage in combat using their nearly 6-foot-wide antlers, quickly exhausting their bodies. After days of competition, one moose is injured and moves more slowly. The grizzly bear watches from a distance, maintaining a safe distance. When the moose stops to rest, the bear accelerates, closing in from behind and attacking its hind legs to disorient it. The moose fights back fiercely, but its strength is depleted. The confrontation ends quickly. The moose doesn't lose because it's weak, but because it has expended too much energy beforehand. For the grizzly bear, this is a calculated choice. Only act when the opportunity is clear and the risk is minimal. Hyenas are opportunistic, agile, and highly resilient predators. They rely on the intelligence of their small pack to maintain their position in the food chain. However, when faced with an organized pack of wild dogs, a lone hyena is often unable to defend itself. A hyena is enjoying the leftover meat of an antelope from another hunt. A chorus of wild dogs sounds from afar, signaling the arrival of the pack. About 10 dogs rush in, moving in unison and coordinating closely. The hyena crouches low, growling warningly, trying to hold on to its prey. But as the encirclement tightens, it is gradually forced to retreat. The confrontation becomes tense as neither side wants to give up. The wild dogs use a tactic of alternating close-range attacks, while the hyena fights back desperately. After a few minutes of struggle, the hyena is forced to abandon its prey and retreat. The battle ended with no one killed, but the wild dogs emerged victorious. In the natural world, organized numbers always prevail over lone opportunists. This clearly demonstrates that strategy and unity are more important than individual strength. Leopards are powerful predators, possessing strong muscles, quick reflexes, and excellent climbing skills. They live solitary lives and always defend their territory with heightened vigilance. Any intruder, whether fast or cunning, is considered a threat. One morning, a cheetah wandered into the leopard's hunting grounds while watching antelopes. A small rustling in the dry grass caused the leopard to turn. In seconds, it lowered its body and lunged. The cheetah reacted quickly, dodging the first pounce, but its speed couldn't be sustained in close combat. The leopard pressed forward, gradually closing the distance. The cheetah tried to counterattack, but its slender body and poor resilience quickly overwhelmed it. When cornered against a tree, the cheetah chose to retreat, abandoning the area to avoid injury. The leopard stood firm, maintaining the initiative and controlling the entire area. The encounter ended bloodlessly, but it was clear. Speed may help you escape, but strength is what sustains dominance in the wild.
Another one.
Honey badgers are small but resilient animals, known for their endurance and quick reflexes. Their thick, loose skin, about 0.24 inches thick, around their necks allows them to twist and turn to escape an enemy's bite. When attacked, they don't run away but confront the predator head-on, creating significant psychological pressure on any predator. A leopard spotted a honey badger digging for food. It approached slowly, then lunged with a precise jump. The honey badger reacted instantly, turning its head, letting out a low growl, and charging straight at the leopard. The confrontation became tense as the two grappled for a few brief seconds. The leopard's claws applied strong pressure, but the honey badger didn't back down. Its loose skin allowed it to twist and turn, counterattacking the leopard's face. Faced with the leopard's quick reaction and tenacity, the leopard stopped, retreated, and left.
Buddy's come to help it.
The winner isn't the stronger one, but the one who knows how to utilize every advantage to survive. For the honey badger, survival doesn't come from strength, but from courage and unwavering determination. Mongooses are small, fast animals that are resistant to most snake venom. Their agility and lightning-fast reflexes make them natural opponents of venomous snakes. Their goal is to eliminate snakes to protect their territory and food sources. A mongoose spots a cobra moving through the bushes. It approaches cautiously, observing every movement. The snake raises its body, spreads its hood to warn, then lunges with a lightning-fast attack. The mongoose dodges, quickly turning and reacting. The confrontation lasts for a few dozen seconds, with precise dodges. When the snake begins to weaken, the mongoose chooses the right moment, attacking the head to finish the fight. The battle ends quickly. Although often gaining the upper hand, this encounter still carries inherent risks. In nature, speed and precise tactics can overcome even the most dangerous venom. Zebras are large, strong prey with quick reflexes and incredibly powerful kicks. Each kick can deliver enough force to break a predator's bones. Zebra herds move in close proximity, protecting each other, making it extremely difficult to separate an individual from the group. A lone cheetah observes the zebra herd from a distance. It targets the young one at the back of the herd. When the opportunity arises, it charges out at over 60 miles per hour. Initially, the hunt seems promising, but within seconds, the mother horse returns. With a lightning-fast reflex kick, she forces the cheetah to stop and retreat. The zebra doesn't flee immediately. The entire herd turns, forming a tight defensive formation. The cheetah gradually loses its speed advantage as there is no longer enough space to approach. After several unsuccessful attempts, it stops and quietly retreats. In nature, not all prey is weaker than the predator. Sometimes, a single wrong decision in a moment can end a predator's chances of survival. Hippos are among the most dangerous animals in Africa, even to lions. With tusks approximately 20 inches long and a bite force exceeding 1,800 pounds per square inch, hippos possess enough strength to make any predator wary. In the water, they are completely in control. One sweltering afternoon, a pride of lions passed by a watering hole. On the shore, a large hippo was advancing in search of food. 3 lionesses observed, moving silently to plan their attack. When the first roar sounded, the pride charged simultaneously, shaking the ground. The hippo reacted instantly. It spun around, opening its mouth wide, and attacked the nearest lioness. The powerful thrust sent its opponent reeling. As the lions tried to surround it, the hippo retreated toward the water, where it offered a clear advantage. With a flick of its tail, water splashed up in a white spray, marking the boundary between predator and untouchable. The lions stopped, silently retreating. The confrontation ended quickly, the hippo emerging victorious. In the wild, even the king must back down when its opponent wields the power of the environment. Lions are not spontaneous hunters. They are masters of calculation, only acting when the advantage is clear. Every situation, from competing for prey to controlling territory, has its own strategy. They may ignore easy prey, but they do not ignore potential threats. In nature, it's not always the stronger one who survives, but the one who understands the risks involved. And for lions, each strike is a chapter in the harsh book of survival. Crocodiles are apex predators in aquatic environments. Their powerful bite, quick reflexes, and thick skin make them difficult to subdue while underwater. But once on land, especially when young or stranded, they are no longer as defensive. A young crocodile crawls away from the water's edge, slowly making its way through open land. Without the water's embrace, it no longer has its most important layer of protection. In that moment, it becomes an easy target. A male lion detects movement on land. No roar, no fanfare. But when the crocodile penetrates deeper into the core of its territory, the lion reacts instantly. A precise pounce. The crocodile is knocked down. No water to dive into. No time to evade. The lion doesn't eat the animal. It leaves after determining the situation is under control. The behavior isn't aimed at gaining energy. The goal was to maintain order and eliminate the minor threat from the outset. This wasn't a hunt. This was about controlling the living space. And in this encounter, the crocodile was at a disadvantage. Hyenas live in packs, have a clear hierarchy, and are highly adaptable. They not only utilize carcasses, but also actively hunt when the opportunity arises. Therefore, in the wild, they become direct competitors with lions not due to conflict, but due to resource limitations. A hyena carcass remains in an open field. The hyena pack approaches cautiously. The male lion is still there, not leaving. It makes no sound, shows no threatening behavior. But when a young individual gets too close, the lion reacts immediately. A quick, precise strike, ending the animal on the spot. The lion does not consume the carcass. It then leaves. This action does not provide immediate benefit, but helps reduce competitive pressure for the next few years. Early elimination means a reduction in the number of future competitors. This is not a spontaneous reaction. This is strategic behavior at the population level. One way to maintain balance in a highly constrained ecosystem is for lions not to act for the present. They act for the long-term stability of the entire pride. Giraffes, nearly 18 feet tall and weighing over 2,500 pounds, are the largest herbivores on the African savanna. Their movements are slow, but their hind legs are strong enough to inflict serious injury if cornered. For lions, they are not easy prey. But if successful, a single adult giraffe can provide enough food for the entire pride for days. This means fewer subsequent hunts and reduced risk for the group. The attack begins slowly, not a single blow. Rather, a prolonged test of endurance. The pride of lions takes turns applying pressure, not all at once, not relentless. They patiently pursue, forcing the giraffe to constantly move, gradually wearing it down. When its massive legs begin to slow, the opportunity arises. The giraffe falls, and when that happens, the chances of survival are almost zero. The lions won, but not by speed or strength. Rather, it was through calculation, coordination, and perseverance. This wasn't an ordinary hunt. It was a test of the pack's superiority. Zebras are herbivores with strong bodies, a high ability to detect danger, and powerful defensive reflexes. When attacked, they can deliver kicks powerful enough to inflict serious injury. Therefore, lions aren't always willing to take risks. Only when prey is vulnerable, such as a zebra separated from its herd or stopped in an open field, do lions act. In this situation, a zebra was busy drinking water, unaware of the danger approaching from behind. The lioness chose the right moment, moved silently, and lunged at maximum speed. The zebra reacted instinctively, kicking backward. But the lioness dodged in time and immediately closed in. The attack ended quickly. There was no prolonged chase, no chance for a second attempt. The lioness succeeded, not because she was faster, but because she knew when to strike. This is not a hunt driven by instinct, but rather behavior regulated by experience and the right timing. Buffaloes are one of the most difficult herbivores to subdue. Their nearly 1,500-pound bodies, sharp horns, and high level of organization allow them to resist fiercely. When attacked, the entire herd can turn to their rescue, a rare behavior for herbivores. A young male buffalo lagged behind. The lions began to watch. They weren't in a hurry. They made no noise. When they saw the buffalo was sufficiently separated from the herd, they deployed their formation. 3 lions approached from different directions. No chasing, no cornering. They locked onto each other's head, hips, and hind legs, applying pressure from multiple sides. The buffalo fought back, but couldn't turn the tide. By the time the first members of the herd returned, the battle was over. This time the lions won. But it was a fragile victory. If the rescue had arrived sooner, the outcome could have been reversed. Buffalo hunting is not a common occurrence. Each attempt is a gamble, and lions only participate when the probability of success is high enough. In the late afternoon light, a pack of African wild dogs appeared in close formation, charging across the savanna as a single entity. Each individual weighed between 40 and 70 pounds, reaching speeds of approximately 44 miles per hour. And thanks to their pack coordination, their hunting success rate nearly reached 80%. This cohesion was their greatest strength, but it also forced the pack to be cautious when facing predators significantly larger than themselves. On the edge of their territory, a male lion weighing over 400 pounds silently observed the pack of young dogs that had strayed into their area. In the wild, lions and wild dogs constantly compete for food, making encounters between the two species frequent. For lions, attacking is not just about hunting, but also about eliminating rivals and maintaining control. The distance quickly narrowed. The pack of dogs circled around, noisy but hesitant to approach. When the noise subsided, the lion suddenly lunged, delivering a short, precise blow that locked onto the weakest individual. Instinctively, the rest retreated to preserve their numbers. From a distance, two other lions appeared, forcing the initial attacker to back down and leave to avoid internal conflict. On the calm savanna, the lion stood motionless for a long time before disappearing, not to eat, but to assert its boundaries, where every encounter was decided by instinct and survival. Wildebeest move in large herds. Groups number in the hundreds, sometimes thousands. In those chaotic migrations, no one pays attention to individual animals. But lions are different. They don't attack indiscriminately. They choose and wait. Lions don't need to be skilled hunters. They just need patience. A young animal strays from the herd. An individual slows down as it crosses an open field. That's an opportunity, and that opportunity only comes once. There's no dramatic chase, no complex coordination. A lioness hides in the low grass. She stands up, crosses, and blocks the prey's path. The pounce is precise. The prey tries to get up, but it's too late. The entire pride doesn't turn around. There's no resistance, just one misplaced shot, one moment of distraction. And the end is decided in less than 10 seconds. Probability hunting is the lion's most energy-efficient model. Success isn't always guaranteed, but each time it succeeds, the price paid is very low. This time, the lion succeeded, because it was patient enough to wait for the mistake instead of creating it. Warthogs may look clumsy, but they are incredibly agile when sprinting. Their curved tusks provide effective defense, especially when cornered. However, their short stature and limited vision make them easy targets for predators. An adult warthog is digging roots in the dry ground. It doesn't see a lioness lying motionless in the nearby bushes. By the time it looks up, it's too late. The lioness lunges. Unable to react, the warthog turns and runs, but is pulled down after only a few steps. The precise pounce leaves the prey with no time to react. There's no long chase, no second chance. This is one of those lightning-fast hunting situations where the lion doesn't need strategy or coordination, just timing. The warthog fails not because it's slow, but because of a momentary lapse in judgment. In a natural environment, that is an irreparable mistake. In the wild, conflict doesn't always begin with hunting. It arises when multiple species congregate in a confined space, near a water source, or in a crucial location for survival. In those moments, strength, numbers, and the environment immediately determine who can stand. The following sections reflect how nature determines victory and defeat, without exception or favoritism. Hyenas are large, pack-hunting predators with high stamina and excellent coordination. An adult can weigh over 130 pounds and often relies on numbers to gain an advantage. When facing a lone opponent, hyenas can exert constant pressure and control the space. Initially, a lone lion is surrounded by a pack of hyenas. They approach step by step, applying pressure from multiple directions and maintaining sufficient distance to gauge the lion's reaction. The balance now tips in favor of the hyenas. The situation changes when the lions appear from a distance. The presence of multiple individuals slows the hyena's movements. The pressure shifts, and the numerical advantage is no longer maintained. The encounter ends quickly. The lions maintain control of the area, while the hyenas retreat to avoid direct confrontation. In the wild, lions exert their strength when in a pride, while hyenas only maintain their advantage when they have a numerical superiority. Giraffes are the tallest land animals, with large bodies, long necks, and leg bones that bear their entire weight. A mature individual can be over 18 feet tall and weigh over 2,000 pounds. Despite their excellent eyesight and considerable strength, giraffes' stability depends almost entirely on their legs. When lions approach, they don't target the upper body or neck. Instead, they coordinate attacks on the hind legs, the area that bears the most weight. They cling on, maintaining constant traction and disrupting the giraffe's ability to maintain balance. When one leg loses its balance, the entire giraffe's body loses its stability. It falls to the ground in a short time, and the attack ends quickly. The confrontation ended with a clear result. The lion gained the upper hand thanks to its precise tactics, while the giraffe could no longer defend itself. This is a prime example of attacking structural weaknesses rather than engaging in a direct confrontation. Crocodiles are reptiles with very strong jaws, long, heavy bodies, and thick skin that helps them withstand environmental impacts. An adult can weigh over 1,000 pounds and function effectively in the water. However, once out of the water, their mobility and directional control decrease significantly. Near the riverbank, a crocodile crawls ashore to access its food source on land. Its slow movements make its entire body easily visible. The lions then appear, taking advantage of their numbers and agility on land to exert pressure from multiple directions. In this environment, the crocodile faces many limitations. Reactions become slower, each turn takes time, while the lions take turns approaching and maintaining close proximity. The inherent advantage of being in the water is no longer effective on land. Without a favorable position to maintain distance, the crocodile gradually loses control of the situation and is forced to retreat, abandoning its food source to return to the water. The encounter ends with a clear result. The lion retains its advantage, while the crocodile leaves in unfavorable conditions. In nature, the environment determines advantage, and when the crocodile leaves the water, that advantage is gone. Hippopotamuses are semi-aquatic animals with very large bodies, thick skin, and strong jaws. A mature male can weigh over 3,000 pounds and control the shallow water areas where breeding takes place. A hippopotamus's status is directly tied to its territorial rights. When two male hippos meet, tension quickly escalates. They open their mouths, emit threatening sounds, and move closer to each other. Neither side backs down. The confrontation escalates to direct contact in a confined space. The movements are rapid and brief. The hippo's tusks are strong enough to pierce through thick layers of fat, forcing the opponent under immense pressure and losing its ability to hold its position. Ultimately, the weaker one retreats from the area. The remaining hippo retains control of the water and the breeding opportunity. In the world of hippos, strength determines status, and hesitation brings no advantage. The African buffalo is a powerful animal with a sturdy build, thick muscles, and strong, curved horns. A mature individual can weigh over 1,500 pounds and moves in tightly organized herds. The buffalo's strength lies not in speed, but in its tenacity and ability to withstand pressure. At a watering hole, the elephant continuously drives away other animals to gain space. Approaching the buffalo herd, the elephant continues to demonstrate its overwhelming size. However, the buffalo do not retreat but maintain their position, continuing to drink and maintain their formation. The two sides confront each other in a tense standoff. The elephant advances, the buffalo hold their line. No fatal blows occur, but the pressure is evident in every movement.
Oh, no, man. What?
The encounter ended without either side being defeated. The buffalo were not repelled, and the elephant gradually reduced its intensity of approach. In the wild, their tenacity and herd mentality make buffalo one of the least bullied species in Africa. Buck antelopes are medium-sized animals with quick reflexes, often relying on dense vegetation or shallow water to avoid danger. They aren't strong in direct confrontations, but survive by choosing an escape route in time. In an emergency, deciding where to take shelter is crucial. Pursued by a pack of wild dogs, the antelope lunged into a mud puddle where a hippo was standing still. Initially, the hippo didn't react, keeping its distance and tolerating the unexpected presence. But when the antelope panicked, thrashed violently, and invaded its personal space, the situation immediately changed. The hippo reacted almost instantly. In a brief moment, the confrontation ended, and the antelope was no longer able to escape. Soon after, the pack of wild dogs approached and dragged the body away from the area. The situation ended quickly. The antelope couldn't get through the predicament, while the hippo held its position. In nature, choosing the wrong shelter can lead to a worse outcome than the initial threat. Lions are large, social cats with immense muscle strength, quick reflexes, and effective coordination. A mature lioness can weigh over 300 pounds and often plays a leading role in hunts. However, these advantages are only fully realized when there is enough space to move and retreat. While the buffalo herd moves closely together, a lioness finds herself in a disadvantageous position, trapped in the middle of the formation. Without chaos, the buffalo maintain their structure and react simultaneously. Pressure from multiple directions quickly renders the lioness unable to find an escape route. The safe distance disappears. The lioness's movements slow noticeably, while the buffalo maintain a steady pace and control of the surrounding space. When the situation calms down, the buffalo herd continues to advance in its familiar formation. The lions were no longer able to approach and were forced to leave the area. On the savanna, the buffalo's solidarity was enough to keep even the most powerful predators at bay. These encounters demonstrate that no species always holds absolute dominance. The outcome of each confrontation is determined by circumstances, location, and how each species reacts in the crucial moment. Sometimes strength prevails, sometimes hesitation reverses the situation. In the wild, order is maintained by stable, unbiased, and unchanging rules.